Morning, Chris. We're going fishing today again. The canal's very low. Hey, Alina. Light work, we call it. I nearly got into a fight on the way back, a fish fight. So I'm coming back from the chemist, right? And this geezer cuts in front of me, right? But before I crossed this path, I went like that. I put my hand up, you know what I mean? He's seen me, yeah? And he still fucking tried to go through the intersection, yeah? He nearly clipped me. So I said to him, see you fucking prick, you. What's your fucking problem? He rolled the window down. He said, what you fucking say? I said, you fucking heard what I said, dickhead. He's like, you fucking what? Who you calling a fucking dickhead? I said, you cunt. What, you gonna fucking do something? Go on, do something. He tried to pull his van up. I dropped my scooter, you know what I mean? A police car stopped beside me. You know what I mean? Asked me, am I all right? I said, yeah, I'm fucking fine, mate. You know, what's his problem? You'd have to ask him. You know. He waited till the police went and he followed me. Wait to hear this. Followed me, right? So I said, tell you what, follow where I'm going. Follow me on your own. Leave your car. I'm going down them steps in open shore and there's a long walkway where there's nobody that'll see us. If you want me, come on, follow me, big man. Come on, follow me. Park your car there. I'll wait for you and we'll go around the corner and I'll leather you. You know, you little midget. You look like a Northern Ireland midget, Eamon McGee. I would kick you in your head. That's what I was aiming for. I was waiting for him to get that close away from you and I was just going to go snap. And they're getting nicked for it. Or they're doing it in front of the copper. You know, some fella tried to knock me off my scooter, I'll lean it. Me bollocks, mate. I'm not taking that. Not in my own housing estate. Hell no. You're not going to try and knock me down. You know me not do something or say something about it. Yeah, what do you think I am, a nitty? Do you think I'm a dickhead? I know I act and behave like a dickhead, but I'll tell you fucking one thing, mate. I would have leathered him. I would have taken everything out on him and I'd have hurt him. You know, I could just see him in his work van going home, picking his children up, you know. And I don't want that, but it's like he could have gotten seriously hurt. I could have bashed his head in. You know, he wouldn't have been going back to work. You know, he'd have having to get a piece of his head shaved and cut open to release the pressure on his head because of the smashing it off the ground. You know, underestimate me because you're a big guy on juice. You're about 20 stone. I'm not even 13. Let's go then, you big monster. You come on, we'll see how tough you are, mate. But no, I won't let you up. And I'll find a way to win. If I have to pick a brick up and hit you with it in the face or a bottle, I do it. To win, I do anything to win. I'll try with me hands, and if all else fails, well, then we'll go to plan B. Anything counts. But I didn't go there. The guy could have killed me. Do you understand? My son wouldn't have having a daddy. And then he calls me a wanker. I was like, tell you what, big man, get out then. Do something here. I got off my scooter, I dropped it in the middle of the main road. I'm holding up traffic. A police car comes around the inside lane, comes up, he says, what seems to be the problem here? I said, there's no problem here. You know, I would have killed him. He looked like he was about the same size as Eamon McGee. He's too small for me. I would have murdered him on the feet or on the ground. If I'd have gotten on the ground and grabbing hold of him, I'd have breaking or dislocating his arm. You know, because it's easy, because I learned it, you see. You know, but it's only when you're getting your ass whooped you have to fight. But otherwise, I'm good. I'd have choking that cunt out and leaving him under the bridge and walking away. You know, he'd have waken up in a couple of minutes, you know, like a fucking horse, mate, after being knocked out with tranquilizers. He'd be dribbling and all. What just happened? You just got put to sleep, mate, for your big fucking mouth. Yeah, and I've got children that depend on me and friends, and I do lives every day. And if you had a hitting me, I'd have letting down a few people in my life, and I'm not doing that. This cunt is so lucky. I'm telling you now, mate, on my mother's grave, this is the closest I've ever come to having a fight with somebody that I don't know. I don't care who he is. You know, I'm comfortable with my skill set. He was about the same size as Eamon McGee. He's too small for me. He was about 5'8". I'd knock him clean out with one kick. You know, he'd have cerebral edema and he'd wake up probably in a hospital with a brain fucking injury. Because he thought he was the boy. He thought he could fight and I just banged him. But except for I didn't, because the police aren't stupid. You know what I mean? One of the coppers that got out knew me. He's like, I haven't seen you for years. You're a McDonald, aren't you? I said, yeah. And you're a bollock still, I see. The other copper was laughing. You know. I was like, have you not, and here, hang on a minute. PC 467, whatever your fucking name is. It's like, hang on a minute, it'll come. What's your cunt name? Brody. That's it, isn't it? Yeah, you're like one half of Starsky and Hutch, I think. It's like, you know, I said, I see you still haven't got the fucking promotion. You know, I stood in the way of that years ago, didn't I? I got you sacked nearly for hitting me, you know, in front of people. Now, at the time, there was no body cams. But I swear on my kid's life, this is the closest I've come to fighting my son. You see, Lena, I have mental health issues, right? I don't know whether you can tell or you can relate or you can concur, but you know you can. So, bigger picture, he had a hit in me. He could have broken me hip, me back, me legs with his van. And before I crossed his path, I waved at him and he seen me. Do you understand? He acknowledged me. And then I went through and he missed me by about that much. So I just said to him, here, what's your fucking problem, bro? He goes, what? Starts fucking, you know, gassing on me and all. I'm thinking, go on, mate. Get out of that fucking car, mate. And I'm telling you now, you're going to have a bad day today. You know, go on, get out. You know, get out. I threw my scooter on the ground. 4 cars behind him was a police car. Seen the police car coming up, stopped. You all right there, mate? You're holding up traffic here. I says, I ain't holding up nobody. Do you understand? The other copper got out and he goes, I fucking know you, don't I? I was like, yeah, I remember punching you once in your face and knocking you clean out. Hey, you had me charged for it, didn't you? Officer Brody, that's it. I knocked you out, didn't I, years ago? His colleague was breaking his bollocks laughing, you know what I mean? He says, I've not seen you in a long time. I've always wondered what I'd do for seeing you. I'm like that. Listen, you do what you fucking want, yeah? Can you not see all the other cars stopped? You know, I've not done nothing. You've got your body cam on. You know, I'm having a bit of banter with you. I've missed your face. You know, you're the one who said you remember me. So if you want to go down memory lane, what I remember is in a lane punching you in your cunt face, and you did nothing about it. You slept like a little bitch dog. You know. But I've grown up since then. I've got a degree in psychology. Fuck off. Me and mate, I'm well better at your job than you were. I could teach you things in life, yeah? Do you understand? You still haven't grown up, I see. You still have a vagina on your face. You know, like it's 2025, you know, you're not, Mia, as far as I know, your wages isn't too bad. You know, but like I said, on my baby's life, if I had if the copper had saying something smart to me, I would have dropped him again. You know, he said, you're a McDonald, aren't you? Basic. What are you doing up here? What are you fucking doing up here? You live in Wigan. Why you fucking asking me why I'm here? Why are you here, you pig fuck? You know, I'd mind your fucking words very carefully. Jude. Oh, you remember me then? Yeah, I wouldn't forget either. I slept you. I was proper winding them up. I was like, oh, I remember you. You're the copper that had a vagina, aren't you? That took your baton out. And I told you not to take your baton out. And what did you do? You took your baton out, so I whooped your ass. His colleague was breaking his bollocks laughing, you know what I mean? I swear down, I've never interacted with coppers like this where one of them was giving him stick. You know, I said, look, I'm a law-abiding citizen now. He said, no, you're not. He said, you just nearly caused an accident. I said, did I? I said, is your body cam going to show that, is it? I said, your police car going to show me causing an accident, is it? No, they're not. They're going to see the fella in front jamming on as I'm going past and stopping and shouting shit out the window to me. What am I meant to do? The cunt nearly hit me, and then he comes out of nowhere up the road about half a mile and starts calling me names. So me being me, I'm like, listen, I don't give a flying fuck, mate. Here, there, fucking, there's me scooter. Get out of your van. Go on, get out of your van. What are you going to do to me around here, mate? Do you understand? I will knock you out, yeah? And then I'll get in your work van, I'll drive it around the corner, and I'll set it on fire. I told them what to do, and on my kids' lives, I would have done it. You know, like I'm certified psychotic. You know, I don't think and process things like you. I'm not a normal person. I have fucked up thought process. Like, I could see his head on the ground. You know, I kept getting flashbacks looking at him thinking, mate, what I could do with you. And I don't want to do it, bro. You're the one who nearly knocked me down. And now I'm cycling up the road, or I'm on my scooter. And you drive alongside me and start shouting out the van, you fucking pikey bastard. You fucking what? I'm not a fucking pikey. Well, then you're a junkie bastard, I said. Is it them? I said, mate, that's like what a maggot is to a fish. Here, I'm dangling a worm in front of you. Go on. Go on. Please judge me because of me teeth. Because what you don't know is, as soon as you stand 2 feet away from me, I'm going to kick you in your fucking head. And I'm not going to take no gamble. Because when I kick you here, I'm accurate. But anyway, he nearly ruined me fucking day. He nearly ruined the fucking life. I was like, do you know why I have people depending on me, officer? I'm a YouTuber. Are you? The other fella's not. The other fella is fuming, right? Because I went from giving him stick to being dead respectful to his colleague, because his colleague was sound. I'm not going to lie. His colleague was taking my side. He says, what's wrong? I said, there's nothing wrong. This prick is still shouting out the window, right? I'm telling the copper there's nothing wrong, hoping the copper will fuck off. Do you understand? And then we can deal with it. He's shouting out the window. He said, what's his problem? I said, I don't know. You'd have to ask him. Maybe his missus is fucking someone. You know, in fact, maybe our colleagues, Mrs. is fucking someone, and he overheard me, you know what I mean? He said, you know what, you're that close from being arrested. I said, for what? He said, breach of the peace. I said, really? Really? I said, is your body cam on, officer? You better turn it on, because that's a charge against my human rights. You know, you should have that on at all time. From the moment you start your shift till the end, right? Now, they're going to say that you turned your body cam off sometime during the day at this time when this incident happened. Why did you turn your body cam off? It does not matter what the excuse is. It's standard procedure not to knock your body cam off. He knocked it off. So I knew if he had to get out, I would have dropped the cunt. You know, because I'd be thinking about that as well. If some little fucking scroty Irish prick knocked me out and all my colleagues were slagging me off and giving me a hard time about it in the job, I'd always think, you know, if I see that Irish cunt again, I'm telling you now, I'll run him over. And he got a chance to do it today, except for he wasn't driving. Well, he was. I'm not too sure, in fact, you know what I mean? But yeah, this prick kept going on. Shout, was it you, mate? Shout out to Ronald in MMRC. Yeah. MRRC, what does that stand for? Don't tell me. Don't tell me, Scott. Let me work it out for myself. Right, so I'm reckoning that the RRC is Melbourne's Remand and Rehabilitation Centre. How far am I off? Am I off by much? Melbourne Rehabilitation Centre. Am I far off the mark? Hey, he nearly copped the sweet, Scott. You know, listen, I'm not a nitty, bro. I will bounce you. Yeah, that's what HMP is in Australia, I'd imagine. Way off. Go on, then hit me with it. I don't know too much about prison in Australia, in all fairness. Or remand centre, is it? You know, Melbourne Remand Centre. Yeah, shout out to everybody all around the world that watches me that's in jail. You know, shout out to all my pals in Mountjoy, Wheatfield, Portlaoise, Magarbry, Style, Franklin, Garth, Forest Bank, Strangeways, Style. You know, I've loads of mates that are in jail that watch me. All the young man, all the man them off my housing estate, all the younger lads watch me who are locked up in prison. You know, all the lads that I grew up with. And then when I come to England and I had my own family, a lot of people that are my son's age, I watched them also grow up, but they didn't go down the uni college education way. They started selling drugs and wanted to be the main man on their housing estate. You see, because everybody wants to be the man in Beswick, but not everybody can be the man. And that's the truth. You see, you're going to ring the police if we fight. You know, that's why I don't like fighting nerds. And that's why I've never called out a YouTuber, because one of them would ring the police. You know, you're a nerd. You know, I've got a track record for this. You know, you don't forget to ride a bike. You know, I have a couple of mates in jail. I love this walkout music, Eubanks walkout music, man. I was fucking, honestly, the way he did it, I'll be honest with you. Before the Eubank Ben fight, I wanted Ben to win, right? But, and like I said, Eubank he earned my respect on the night. The way everything, he's just like, you know, I never noticed it before until it's called Metropolitan Remand and Reception Centre. I knew remand was in there somewhere. Anyway, we're going to Chris Eubank Jr. We're going to find out who's going to win between Fury and AJ. Who have you got? We've got 45 minutes left. Let's go.
Press conference madness. The X smothered in and one smashed into collar, which sent the social media world into a total frenzy. He's clever, he's intelligent, but he's 35 now, and the dramas of the weigh-in littering this phenomenal build-up. Vines, rehydration clauses, all things maybe.
Morning.
It's never ordinary at 365.
Shout out to Crossy, lad.
The moment has arrived that we've all been waiting for, the main event of the evening. So let's get this party started! And now making his way to the ring first, please welcome Connor, the Destroyer.
It's early, Scott. It's 5 to 10 in the morning, bro. It's nearly 10 a.m. here, brother. But shout out to Scott all the way in Australia, man. You know what? It's like I always wanted to get mods from different countries, and Scott he's turned out to be one of my best mods, you know what I mean? And he's all the way from Australia. You know, he's bought me coffees in the past as well. So even if Scott never ever bought me a coffee again, he's already done it. He's contributed to me. Lena has done the same. Finn has done the same. Spencer McDermott and Amo's done the same. Pablo's done the same in the past. A few people have. You know, now, you see, I spend a lot of time trying to help people or advise people. I just come in and do a live, and other people come in, because a lot of people have social anxiety. There's some people who don't leave their house that often. There's a lot of people that are on a lot of medication. There's a lot of people that have come off a lot of medication. There's a lot of people going through the addiction. There's a lot of people going through alcoholism. And all I'm going to tell you is, here, you can drink yourself to death. Your pain's never going to go away. But if you face it head on, you've got a chance. At least you've got a chance. You know, and it's like I said here, it doesn't matter what medication you're on, what facility you go to. I've been to 3 separate facilities, right? So I can speak on them. I nearly got a murder charge in one of them, because some big bowsy was hitting a nurse. He had her off the ground, you know, and I was in a mental health facility on suicide watch, Lena, right? Now, Lena, you know some of my pals. You know some of my family. Now, I'm sitting down. My dad used to beat the brakes off my mother, right? And me. I'm on suicide watch, yeah. I'm sitting down, I'm eating me cornflakes. Why is it breakfast time? People always fucking annoy me. I'm sitting there having me breakfast. Next of all, I hear the commotion in the background and I'm looking. This geezer has the nurse like that, and he lifted her. He looked like Bungalow Rainbow. He was a big chap. And I'm thinking, I look behind and I'm like, dude, he's too big. You know, and then I'm also looking, she's trying to pull her alarm, and he grabbed her keys and threw it. And I'm looking, and there's no staff anywhere. Okay, there's only 3 people on the ward. One of them is in a fucking unit, and she's up like that. So I'm eating me cornflakes, and I can hear her choking, like literally. So I had to do something about it. So I asked him nicely. I says, can you let her go, please? I says, you know, I bet your mammy is so proud of you. Now, what I didn't realise was, the day before his mammy died, I told him to let her go, or it'd end up bad for me or for him. So he let her go and ran at me, and I hit him with a microwave oven twice. I was going for a hat-trick. But shout out to Ghana. I'm a big fan of your staff. My man Rugby tackled me. He hit me like I was a fucking packet of quavers. I mean, this guy ran at me, dived on me, he hit me, and I swear to God, I've been hit hard in my life, right? The hardest I've ever been hit was by a Polish guy called Marcin. Sijaja, kiss my arse. That's what it means in Polish. Sijaja, yeah, kiss my arse. This geezer hit me harder than my father did. He kicked me once, and I'll tell you what, he nearly killed me. But this geezer hit me, and I hit a wall. You know, he gave me concussion, and a few of them dived on me and jabbed me. You know, I lacked it all. You know, I could have killed him. You know, because at the end of the day, this nurse cut my beard. You know, and got me sandwiches at night time when all the staff was gone home. You know, she went out of her way to help me, so I had to help her. You know, I could see me dad hitting me mad, and I just went nuts. I said, okay, let her go, mate. He said, fuck you. I said, I bet your mammy is proud. Now, I wasn't to know. His mother died the day before, and he got sectioned because he lost it. So he was so angry, right? He was very angry. And if he had grabbed me here, lights out, easy for him, because he was too big for me. All he had to do was grab me, that was it. And he would have hurt me. And by the time one of the staff got there, he could have killed me. He could have snapped me neck. He was huge. You know, he's a problem. You know, but I had to deal with somebody like that when I was 16. You know, I went to Patrick's and there was a fella from Cork and he was bullying kids, youth offenders, right? I went, nah, Scott, look at between you and Lena, yous are great people. I really enjoy yous company when yous come in. You know, yous are good mods from both yous are from different countries than I. You know, I think it's great. You know, 20 years ago, I wouldn't speak to someone Protestant, all because they're Protestant. Now, how much of a bigot was I? And how rude and ignorant, you know what I mean? And me pride and me principles before me happiness, right? You know what? You see the Shankill Road? I don't hate anybody on the Shankill. I don't hate nobody. You see, that's too big a thing to give away. Nobody'd have that hold over me. I don't hate anybody or anyone. You know, if you're respectful, whether you're a Leeds fan, whether you're a fucking... I'd like to say to Tim Leeds, congratulations on being promoted. So, like I said, football brings us together as well. Lena is a Rangers fan. I'm a Man United fan. I have friends that... Pablo's a Tottenham fan. Jerry the Jinx is a Liverpool fan. Lena, yesterday while I was on the fucking canal, right, I had to make a video like that. Fuck you, Jerry. You know, but I enjoyed myself. You see, even though I don't catch fish when I go fishing, I don't go to catch fish. I go to get out, to help myself. I do something. You see, I've worked in this country for 21 of the years I've been here. Know that. Jude McDonald's paid tax in England for 21 years for the wanker same here. What is my job? Jude is retired, motherfucker. How about that? Yeah. So fuck you in your face, yeah? I worked in this city for 21 years. You know. Tell you what, my wealth is my family and the friends and the people I have around me. Me missus. Yesterday we went on the canal fishing, yeah. We've never did it. You know, she stood there and watched me fishing and made a few videos and took a few photos. Then I said, you know what, we'll do this tomorrow. I was supposed to go home yesterday. Well, I was supposed to go home on Monday, but I'm still here. You know what I mean? It's like last week Scott said something to me that I didn't like, but I'll be honest with you. When I thought about it, you know something, so shout out to Scott for that. I don't need to remind him, but I know he's a good pal, you know, because that's what your mates tell you. You know, that's what your mates tell you. You know, here, listen, bro, you could be in the wrong, you know. You know, is that a possibility? You're wrong, Jude. You know, basically, when Scott told me to get the fuck off YouTube and what have you, I didn't like it, but he wasn't wrong. You know, I couldn't even argue with him. Okay, so tell you what, I'll make it a deal. I am going to dedicate the next fish to Jerry. I am going to call it Jerry. And we're going to let it go back. No, Jerry, we are not cannibals. You know, I wouldn't eat fish out of any canal or river, me bollocks. I'll buy it if I want fish. I like fish. I eat fish. I eat chicken. You know, Scott, Lena, since I've come off that medication, I've lost nearly 2.5 stone. You know, since I've grown this channel. You see, when I knew Lisa was pregnant, Lena, I had to give him a chance. Do you understand? And by me giving them a chance means me coming off certain medications, right? Now, I can't be on a mood stabilizer when I have a son. Do you understand? I want to feel. Even, I'll be honest with you, Lena, since I come off the medication, everything's come back. Like, never, me pain is at an 8 or a 9 every day. I have degenerative disc disease, you know, and it fucking hurts, and it's not pleasant, and I'm not gonna lie, like, all jokes aside, I'm terrified, you know, because the pain I'm in now, and because I've tried to harm myself twice, it's like I'm thinking, what's my pain gonna be like in 5 years? You know, I've got a condition called degenerative disc disease. In my vertebrae, in my L3, 4, and 5, you know, the gel, it's absorbed, it's dissolved. In my L3, 4, and 5, and my R3, 4, and 5, I've no spinal fluid or that vertebrae, that gel between your vertebrae, which, do you understand? So when I'm walking, you see, I've had a bad paper round, especially with that one there. Like, see that? I've more fucking scars and marks on this arm from fighting. You know, it's like I've smashed me hand to bits, especially that hand. You know, but me mother raised me to be a gentleman. Me father raised me to be a tough guy. Now, I wouldn't say me dad was a tough guy. To me, he was. You know, but there was well tougher men than my father, like some of my uncles. Do you understand? I seen one of my uncles beat the brakes out my daddy more than one time for hitting me and me ma. Here, you hit my sister again, I'll fucking kill you with my hands. Imagine that. But like I said, my dad learnt me a lot of shit, like, and it's like when he passed away, I taught me back on a couple of things that I I I had with me all my life. Number one, music, and number two, God. You know, I'd no desire or no appetite to play music because it reminded me of me dad, you know, and what he wanted me to do. So I tried to avoid music, and I made myself so miserable. You know, for 8 years, I went in on myself. I was with someone for 22 years that smashed me heart to bits. 22 years I was with Dylan's mum. And I didn't just break up a relationship, I lost me dog as well. And 22 years of my life being with somebody. And I was carrying too much weight on my shoulders. And I tried to be strong for my family when my ma and dad died and all that. But it broke me, you know. When my dad died, yeah, I couldn't get past it. I've got past it since. But when my mother died, I've never got past it. And I thought I was hallucinating a few months ago, and I thought I was having delusions and hallucinations, psychotic episodes attached to complex post-traumatic stress disorder. You see, I've studied psychology, okay, I've had to, for my brain. You see, your brain releases endorphins and serotonin and adrenaline, you know. If I had been ambitious, in all fairness, I can't afford to do a fucking master's, you know, unless you want to pay for it. But I've not, like I said, at the end of the day, everybody around me has degrees in life and in education. I have one, my son has one, my dad had one, and my two brothers will have one in 2 years. They're both doing construction management courses at the moment in uni. It always had to be like that. My dad taught me, so I taught my son and my brothers, and look at all three of them have degrees or are on their way to them. My son already has his. He's waiting for his uncles to catch up on his daddy and his son. Joe McDonald is on him dumb. When I lost my education, I got it back from my nanny. My nanny asked me, she told me, education is your friend as well. It's a tool. You know, you need your skill, do it. You know, you'll never get into the army if you can't spell. You know, you need to be able to read and write because, you know. But I fucked it up because of drugs. You know, I let drugs stand in the way of my dream, which was represent my country on the battlefield. And if that didn't work, we were going to try join the Iraq. How about that? That was the plan. So I surrounded myself with people that were in it, allegedly. Because I wanted to be in it, but I was a fuck up. I was too much of a liability. I was a heroin addict. They never let me in that. Are you mad? You know, you're a fucking junkie, mate. You sorry, but you're a liability. You're a fucking junkie. Do you understand? We can't trust junkies in the army. And how mad is it? You know, during the Iraq War, and during the Afghanistan invasion, do you know 1/3 of them soldiers were addicted to heroin? They were doing it every day. Here, imagine this. You can get a jam jar full of heroin for £5 in Afghanistan. And I know this for a fact. A jam jar full of heroin in the Helmand province between $5 and $7 US while he was out in Helmand. You know, I've a few mates that have been to there, you know. I've friends or family that like I said here, it doesn't matter what country you represent, a soldier is a soldier, and we have rules, and we have fucking a code, and we have discipline, we have patience, we have tenacity, you know, we have long suffering. You know, some of us are made for it, and some of us aren't. Like, I know a few tough guys. Now, wait till you hear this, right? I'll give you an example. I know a fella whose brother was threatened by the Mitchells in town, and he threatened someone's little brother, and it didn't end up good for him. And then something else happened to this particular fella in England where somebody threatened his brother again. The first fella, it didn't end well, and the last person to threaten this person's brother ended up having a big hole in him. Yeah, because this fella made the promise to God that if he had to have a brother or a sister, he'd do, and he'd give his life for his country and his family. So I was a big brother, so I raised my brothers a certain way. You know, like my little brothers grew up watching me hanging around a street corner with some of Dublin's most notorious nicknames. You know, they all used to come up to where I lived. My ma used to come out with tea and biscuits and orange for all of us, you know what I mean? How are you, Jane? How are you, Maria? Come here, you bollock shit. Did you shave his eyebrows? You know his dad beat the shit out of him last night. Jane, I'm sorry, you know. It's like, yeah, you're not fucking sorry. Look at his fucking eyebrows. He looks like a gay. You know, he looks like him out of fucking The Hills Have Eyes, mate. You know, Conehead. Fuck me. His dad slapped the face out of him last night, Robert. They were all laughing. You know, even me mom was laughing. So my dad found out I was smoking hash, and he said to me, ma, Jane, what am I going to do? I go to work for him, and he's fucking smoking drugs. Look at the holes in his t-shirt. Look, never mind his t-shirt. Look at his fucking eyebrows. He looks like a fucking lawn that's just been gone over with a fucking bastard lawnmower. You know, who did it? I don't fucking know. What do you mean you don't know? Smack. Are you lying to me? Tell me. You know who did it. I fucking don't. And I didn't. I wasn't sure which one done it. Because they were all fucking saying, do you remember, you know? No, I know the name though, Lena. But yeah, that was the first time, man. I was the first one out of me mates to get tortured and my eyebrows taken. You know, I was proper violated. I haven't got any TY. If you've any, I'd appreciate them. You know, nah, all jokes aside, I have a friend sometimes that sends me the odd strip that I'm grateful for, and I wouldn't, you know, I'd only deal with this individual like fucking, you know, my doctors won't give me sleeping tablets, and I don't want to buy sleeping tablets online, but it's coming to the stage where I said to me missus, even me missus tried to get them for me, you know, pretend they were for her, like, you know, so I could sleep and shit. It's like, so I'll probably have to go and buy them, you know. I'm not buying them to get off me, no. I'm buying them to help myself so I can sleep, you know. Like, a lot of us that have really deep mental health, we struggle with our sleep, and it's a very lonely road when you put your pride and principles before your happiness, because most men are supposed to be tough guys, right? So you have this persona, you know, and you put your pride and you put your principles before your happiness when it comes to drugs. I don't know, bro. I don't want to do it any shady way. I seen a few things on Instagram where you can buy them, like, and I only want 28 a month. You know, I'm not. I could buy loads of Valium if that was the case, or fucking diazepam, but I don't want to. You know, like, if I have a friend that sends me a few diazepam every now and then, right? Now, if this friend said to me, Jude, I don't have any of them, but I have Zopiclone. Now, I wouldn't take them. Okay, I'll give you a comparison, right? So let's say if I have I'm not going to lie. Let's say someone handed me a strip of blues and there's 20 on the strip. I take 3 of them instantly, right? Whereas with Zopiclone, I'd only take 1 at night with me other meds. You know, I'm not taking it to get inebriated or stoned. I've been stoned more than most of you cunts will ever get in a lifetime, and I'm all stoned in. Do you understand? Like, on my baby's life, a few months ago, I thought I was having delusions and hallucinations. I really believed it because you don't see dead people, and if you do see dead people, you know you have a major fucking problem. You know, uh, and it's like, you know, when you can't sleep, like, literally, look, I'll be honest with you, it's like I've done a lot of drugs in my lifetime, and when I was a kid, we always knew that there was going to be fucking bad side effects from the ecstasy that we took in the 90s. Now, when we first started taking ecstasy in, say, 92, 90, 91, 92, some of the older lads as well, it's like they were clean, but we start taking, like, these ones called Mad Bastards, you know, Morning Kieran, White Doves, Speckled Doves, Disco Biscuits, fucking Dennis the Menaces, rhubarb and custards. But we always knew years later that there was going to be side effects. But what I didn't know was, when I got sectioned, I got put on a load of medication, right? About 10 different meds, right? And for about 18 months, I was in it. The lights were on, but there was no one home. Do you understand? I was walking, like, and slouching and sleeping. And then when I go asleep, dead people visit me. And then I was afraid to go asleep. Now, what the fuck do you do? You know, because it's like, you know, when you're afraid to go asleep, that's fucking. Lena, I've never taken Xanax or what are they called? The other ones, beginning with O. Oxycontin, isn't it? I've taken most drugs. I've never taken magic mushrooms. I've never smoked spice or anything like that. I've never, anyway, or I've never fucked with crystal meth. You know, I don't like it. I'll be honest with you, in my lifetime, I've done a shitload of drugs that have had major side effects and a big impact on my life. And then I've been taking antipsychotics and antidepressants for the last a long time. And every one of them medications have a side effect. And I didn't know that. You know, it's like at the end of the day, whether you like me or not, we have a few things in common. You know, we breathe the same air. None of us are better than anybody. There's a few people on YouTube who think they're better than everybody else, and I'll be honest with you, nobody is better than anybody on YouTube. Some people might have big channels, some people might have small channels, some people might make a living out of YouTube. That doesn't make you a better person. Nobody's better than anybody on this app. Everybody's welcome on my channel. I don't give a fuck what nationality you are, what colour your skin is. Do you understand? Or what God you support? You know, I'm a big fan of God. You know, and I wouldn't let anybody. I always act the bollocks, and I'll say you big Arab and what have you, and you big fucking. Go on, well, get back and you rub your lamp. Do you know my brother-in-law's from Pakistan? You know he's Muslim, right? You know my nephews are Muslim, so I'm fucking culturally sensitive. You know, I used to be racist. You know, before I come to England, I used to hate English people. You know, and when I got to England, and I'll say this as many times as need be, when an English lady helped me, I couldn't understand it. I was like, hang on a minute, why is she helping me? Like she's got an angle. But if the truth be told, she was pregnant and young once too. And I live next door to her, and do you know the mad thing? Do you know how I got introduced to her? Our son and his mates dived on me outside me house one night, and I didn't realise he lived next door to me. You're from Manchester as well, bro? Well, when I first moved to Manchester, bro, moved to Longside, yeah, and you know the first house I got was in Culford Close, right? And have a guess who lived next door to me? The Bells. Patrick Bell, Orville Bell, Junior Bell, Longside crew, bro. Proper Longside. Well, years ago, Mark went to school with fucking, what's his name? Or he has a nickname. Lee Amos. Mark went to school, because my two brothers have lived in Manchester for 32 years now. Mark went to school with Lee Amos, and one of them got killed. I think his name was Tundy. Was it FM or FYM? You'll probably know more, but yeah, one of them got killed. Like, Mark went to school with him. When I first come to Manchester, there was a war going on between Cheetham Hill and Moss Side, Dodderton, and fucking, you know, Cheetham Hill. Like, you have fucking Gooch Close, and then you have the ones from Cheetham Hill, and I'm telling you now, yeah, I ended up fighting with this guy because he was sat on me wall, and I asked him to fuck off nicely, you know, and we were the only white family on the avenue. We lived in Culford Close, bro. You know, Longside Police Station, right across from it, at the back of the old car wash, yeah? Bro, yardies all around me. You understand? Yo, Don, what you saying, Don? I'm like, my man's like, what's good, bro? I'm like, what? What do you mean, what's good? He's like, say nothing, bro. Suck your mum. Mia, go on, tell me to suck me mum again and watch what I do. And don't be sucking them big lips at me. You know, fuck off. And then they attack me. So I chased one into the garden with a table leg. And his mother come out and said, you bomber-clad rasta. What? You want to hear what she was calling me? You know. Like, she's like, yo, Irie. Your bomber-clad, ras-clad, leave my son alone. Next of all, it's like, your son? That's your cunt son? I said, you know, here, look at me fucking eye and me lip. Did he do that? Ask him. There he is. In fact, here, come in the garden, go on. Next of all, his brother pulled up, right? Now, his brother come in the garden. He said, what's going on, bro? I said, mate, listen, I've just moved to next door, yeah? I don't know if you're a relation to that lad, but, bro, he's been sitting on me wall every fucking night, yeah? I don't even be here in the daytime. I do be over at me granddad's, yeah? In Longside, okay? And I've asked him a few times to get off the wall, do you understand? I said, listen, me girl lost the baby a few months ago, yeah? She's pregnant again, and she's feeling a bit intimidated and scared. He said, which one did you ask? I said, bro, I've asked them all. You understand? And I didn't have an attitude. I'm on my own, you understand? He said, come here, you. He slapped them in the face. His mate started laughing. He got one. He's like, you know, Annie, you say, here, apologise to my man now. All he is, all them, like soldiers, stood in front of me. Yo, bro, I'm fucking sorry, you know. What happened again, you know, Don? I'm like, I'm shaking their hands because at the end of the day, I have to live here, you know. And I made friends with these guys, and the geezer who pulled up in the car was the brother. His name was Patrick Bell. He had a nickname called TD, right, in Longside. Bro, you must know these guys by name. Just by the name. Bell, Junior Bell, Orville Bell, Patrick Bell. You know, they're Longside. Do you understand? But their mates on Moss side, and then they're going against Cheetham Hill when I first come here in 93. But a lot of that ended. You know, like I live on the same housing estate. I lived on one of the same housing estates Dale Cregan lived on. You know, I know Dale. You know, like, you know, and I knew Mark Short as well. Honest Dave. You know what I mean? Both of them were killed by him. You know, and then he went on to kill 2 coppers. You know what I mean? Here, I've no time for that. I understand they were police and all, but here, they were 2 women doing their fucking job at the end of the day. And we have rules amongst men. Do you understand? Here, okay, if you want to shoot at a man, do it. But here, don't fucking shoot. And do you know what he done, the cunt? He threw a grenade at them. You know what a cunt. Like, I always went against authority, right, and police. You know, I had a criminal record that lent me arm before I was 16. Do you understand? But one thing I do know, what would we do without police? Think about it. You know what I mean? I come from carnage. You know, everybody at home knows me family. You know, so if I was to come on here and tell you that I did A, B, or C, someone would come on and say, Jude, you're lying. You know, you see, I've nobody to impress, you know. All my mates wanted to be like me. A fucking dickhead drug dealer. Low-level drug dealer as well. Whereas all the bigger lads around me, allegedly, according to the media and Paul Williams, my friends and family, while the Kinahans have been hiding, another organisation has been not colliding. Yeah. Sitting there deciding. While Daniel Kinahan, Christy Gay Kinahan, fuck your face and fuck your daddy. Yeah, your daddy's gay as well, and there's nothing wrong with being gay, but at least own it. You know, get out of that closet. Get out of the rat hole you're hiding in, you big bowsy. When they're caught, they are going to a federal jail and your money can't do nothing for you there because all your assets are frozen, remember? Yeah, fuck the Kinahans. How about that? Yeah, so, wait you hear this. Now, this is a fact because it's in the papers all the time, right, in Dublin, right? So, allegedly, in Dublin, the housing estate that I grew up on and left, they used to call the lads the Red Wall Gang. Okay, the Red Wall Gang, right? Everybody knows in Dublin who I'm on about, right? And here, allegedly, some of the people affiliated with that gang ended up going on to be known as the fucking family in Dublin. All my friends that I grew up with, and their big brothers and their little brothers, the fucking OTF. Only the family, and you don't forget, you know, like my mates, I always did my mates well, you know. When my mates had no money, I put money in their pocket. I helped my mates eat in a way. Don't get me wrong, our mothers fed us, but I'm talking a different kind of hunger. My mates wanted to sit at a street corner every day doing fuck all, listening to music, rolling joints and doing stupid shit. I always worked. My dad raised me different. You need to work. Men work. Do you understand? And he taught me how to be a leader too. And I used it when I grew up, in a few jobs. I was given positions of trust, so you just have to do your job. You're there to work, so do your fucking job. I'm your gaffer, I'm not your mate. Not while we're at work. You're not my mate. Okay, hitting targets and volume. Do you understand? That's what we're here for, to hit targets and to fucking get a bonus every month, whatever. But the canal, right, yesterday when I went on it, me missus made a video this morning, right, and the water is all gone down. So this afternoon I'm gonna go fishing and I'm gonna catch a fish and I'm gonna name it Jerry. That way then the jinx is broke finally. I'd like to say congratulations to all the Liverpool fans who come in and now on my live on winning the Premier League. Well done. You deserve it. I'd also like to shout out to Tim Leeds. Congratulations on your promotion, and I'm looking forward to a bit of banter next year with you. Please God. Well, this year, but there's a lot of good people on YouTube, you know what I mean, that are decent people, we're not all on here to fucking show ourselves up and what have you. I'm 51. Yeah, when I come on YouTube, I've 7 years ago, I was a fucking dickhead, mate. It's and you end up falling out with people, you end up making alliances, and you end up even making a few pals. It's I survived suicide, right? And when you survive suicide and somebody that you cared about has suicide ideology, you see, mental health is a lonely road for men. And it's a lonely road for women, but men are meant to be tough. So we put our pride and our principles before our happiness. And you don't realise that until you hit fucking 45, 50. I'm just telling you, I'm trying to save you some years. Men, because we're supposed to be so fucking tough and belligerent and all this, we put our pride and our principles before our happiness. Because we're too stubborn and damn fucking arrogant at times. And I can be a walking hypocrite and a walking contradiction. It's you can either bury your head in the sand or you can deal with your fucking shit. It's now, on many occasions, I put my pride and principles before my own happiness. But here, what your pride gonna do when you're a lonely old man? When you die on your own? You see, when you have psychosis, bipolar, any kind of mental health label, we're all on the same team. And the rules of the game is to survive, no matter what. Because if you hurt yourself now, there's a couple of people that love you. And according to the research I've done, every 1 in 8 children who survive a parent of suicide, 1 in 8 take their life. Imagine that. You're 45 next year, bro. You know what, right? It's what I've realised is I can only speak for myself. I can be stubborn sometimes, and I put my principles and pride before what's important. And sometimes you don't see it. I come on here on a daily basis. There's no one on YouTube in our circle. Now, when I say our circle on YouTube, right, You go and find a channel that are in the 50 channels in our circle that has made more videos than me. There's not one of them. Not one of them. You understand? There is nobody that's made the amount of videos in the time I've made, the amount of content I've made, and the amount more I'll make. You see, I have a target to hit. Now, stop putting people's links in the description purposely, because this is another stage. Like, I don't need to help Finn or Lena get subs, because they're good people, and whether you believe in them or not, that's fucking up to you. I believe in them, and that's why I backed them 1,000,000%. Lena was the first paying member of this fucking channel. You know, the first. And I told her to take it back, because if you survive suicide, it's like something clicks in your head and you know that it's a lonely walk. Now, just imagine you have suicide ideology, having suicidal thoughts at any time in your life. Okay, now, I can help you with that. It's like, and the reason I know I can help you is because I've had a lot of experiences with psychiatrists and labels and diagnostics. But like I said, men need to start speaking more about their mental health. And it's like my mates, I never said I was a tough guy or a hard man or a fighting man on YouTube, ever. Other people said it, not me. Other people who know me have said it, not me. If I was a tough guy, I'd call everyone out, wouldn't I? Here, think about it for a minute. My channel, if I wanted to grow this channel quick and fast, I could call everyone out, and you know what? Without being arrogant. If someone said to me, would you fight Decker Heggie? I'd say no. If someone said, would you fight Brett May? I'd say no. And if someone asked me to fight Afraid of His Own Shadow, I'd say no. You know why? Because I think they destroy me. And I'm not a tough guy. I'm not on here to fight with people. You know, there's enough fucking people on here calling each other out. But I said, when I grow this channel, there's a couple of things that I won't do. Number one, I won't ask you to hit the like button. And number two, I'm STRAIGHTOUTTABALLYER, and I have many lads who have been in and out of jail all their fucking life that live up there, that can speak for me, that know me, you see. I can back up everything I say. You know, like, I just need to post a few pictures here and there of myself surrounded by some of Paul Williams's most... Yeah, he likes to talk about them. I've got a shitload of photographs, and I will post some of them. I've already posted a few, and I've told you certain jobs I've done in life. And I posted pictures where I was at work or acting the bollocks in one of the jobs. But there's some pictures that I've saved purposely. Now, so I have to go, right? But when it comes to mental health, right, whether you know it or not, or whether you want to admit it or not, it's like, look at, you have to fucking take a chance or take a leap of faith, because if you're expecting your mental health just to get better like that, you know, and I'm still on 4 antipsychotics, 2 antidepressants, a pain agent, and promethazine is like, it's not a sleeping tablet, Lena. You know what I mean? Like, they won't give me a fucking sleeping tablet because I tried to take my life a few times. You know, like, listen, I told the doctor, listen, mate, I can, if I wanted to do that, I can buy them online. I'm fucking telling you, I have a problem. I need to sleep where I'm not woke up. Like, you understand? I'm not asking for a fucking miracle. But like I said, a lot of us on YouTube have mental health issues, and because of our pride and our principles, we won't admit it because we don't want other people to know that we've gone, well, fuck what other people think. You know, if you go through your life worrying about what other people think, what you don't have, you know, it's like, think about what you actually have in your life now. And if you fucking harm yourself, yeah, especially if you're a parent, your children will never get over it. And remember, according to the World Mental Health Organization, 1 in 8 children go on to take their life after their mommy or their daddy does it. So our mental health has a big impact on our children. It's called ACEs, Adverse Childhood Experiences. Now, when it comes to psychology, right, see me, I was a great fucking coach, teacher, mentor that some of these kids could have. You know why I come from that life? You know, yeah. Like kids give me lift when they don't know me, and I'll fucking have a conversation with you. Ring your dad, go on. Especially down in Beswick here. 32 years, ring your dad here. There's the phone. Ring him. Go on, tell him what I said. And I get on with everybody down there, and everything in life is about respect. And when it comes to mental health, men need to speak up more, you know, because it's like more people's lives will be saved in the long run. And then with Lena is going to be doing her own StreamYards, and it's for empowering women. Lena is also a Rangers fan, you know, and she's a friend too. Like, at the end of the day, a few people have asked me, why did I get rid of Max? Now, without being a dick, now, even though I don't profit off this, it's nice if people buy you a coffee, right? In the whole time Max has been on my channel, she's never once, and she doesn't have to, but even a book she could have donated to the channel, a prop. You know, it's like, so she's no, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, I didn't come on here to profit, but when I need props for my studio and I ask, I can't allow that, Scott, because you have to understand something. I cared about your feelings. I cared about Rob Lee's feelings, and I cared about Stevie Billings' feelings. And one thing you all have in common is Max. Now, Max come in here and insulted Finn and his teeth. And there's nothing wrong with fucking Finn's teeth. Do you understand? But if a man insults a woman, you know what I mean? It's like it's a big fucking thing, yeah? And here, it's 2025, okay? You know, so at the end of the day, I'm looking and I'm thinking, right, so this has happened before where I've had to get rid of mods because of Max and I didn't want to. And it's like I've tried to defend her. Like, I'll defend Lena to the hilt. Lena never does anything here that causes problems or shakes her arse. And when I say shaking her arse, I mean flirting with other people and letting the chat know that she's single, knowing that other people will flirt with her. I have Irishmen that I'm not naming too. So 5 lads altogether I've had to watch in my life flirting. And I know it's only harmless fun and all, but what you don't realise is, you know, let's say, right, see me, I'm a one-woman man. I have my chick, right? Now, you know, if someone comes in here and flirts with me, I'll delete them from my chat because they're disrespecting my missus. You know, simple as, you know, my missus is the head mod of this channel. Do you understand? And I've backed all of my team from day one. I always fucking give people credit, you know, if they're in the right or they're in the wrong, but I had to make a G call. Okay, this is about my team. You know, and longevity, if I want my team not to fucking fall out, if I have to remove certain people, I will. You know, it's like Scott tried to warn me. about it. He said, Jude, finally you see it. It's like, but I couldn't see it. You know, and Max isn't a bad person. She's not a bad girl. Hey, Machiavelli, it's just like, I have friends that come in an hour here. Like Scott comes in, Straight Jacket. Rob Lee comes in. Stevie Billings used to come in. And the one combined fact that you all have is Max. Now, Max isn't a bad girl, but you have to understand something. If you're flirting with 3 or 4 of my team, you know, you're going to cause carnage. So here, as a team leader, as the captain of this ship, I can't allow that. You see, I can't let that happen. You know, it's going to benefit my team in the long run. You see, nobody is bigger than my team. You know, and if you can't behave yourself, you know, and you're causing friction and arguments in my life, and then I'm coming out my life in a bad mood going into my missus. Do you understand? So it's like everybody's welcome in here, and if you're rude, me mods will put an arrow in your neck. Simple. Everybody's fucking welcome in here. You know, YouTube is getting smaller, guys, right now. I'm not going to do an afternoon live, right? It's like, because I'm going fishing. And if I catch a fish, I'm going to dedicate it to Jerry. And I'm going to make another, fuck you, Jerry. And it was only a small one. But look at, you know, when you're on the canal, right? And I'll be honest with you, I've been out fishing maybe 10 times and I didn't even get a bite. Not even a nibble, you know. And I was disheartened by it, you know. And I was like, fucking Jerry, man. It's like, it has to be his curse, you know. Because I remember I was doing a live one day and there's a lad that comes in, Jerry, yeah, Liverpool fan, I have a bit of banter with, yeah, and I'm like, you're a fucking jinx, bro. Now listen, I try to get on with everybody. If you want to have a bad attitude when you come in my life, that's up to you. You know, you can slate me all you want. You can slate me teeth. You can slate me nose. You can slate me head. You can do what you want. You know, but know this, my mods won't tolerate that. Now, how are you, Eve? I'll tell you what my plan is. I'm going out this afternoon with my son and me chick, and I'm going fishing, and I'm gonna catch a fish, hopefully, and I'm gonna name, every time I catch a fish, I'm gonna name them after one of me mods. So we have a few fishes in the water. So if I catch a baby perch today, his name is going to be Jerry. And then I'm going to catch one for Pablo and for Chopper. And then I'm going to go and catch one for Finn, Lena, Scott, Mousy. And here, there's loads of people's channels I can name. It's like, I like making content, you know. And I've done my research on YouTube. Yeah, I'm only a small channel, okay? Now, in circle on YouTube, there's 50 channels that are relevant at the moment that people watch, right? Now oh, you're gonna have to wait a bit longer, Dave. I'm still doing homework on you. If you're on Instagram, add me to me Instagram. But at the minute, I've got plenty of mods, but everybody's fucking welcome. And at the end of the day, it's like, I believe that the more people, not just men, the more people that talk about their mental health, the better. And the more women, because no fucking chance. No, I'm not like fucking Tank eating koalas. Fuck that. Anyway, I don't know where Tank has fucking disappeared to. He's disappeared too. But yeah, so today we're going out and we're going to try catch a fish or two, and I'm going to name it after a couple of people. You know, Like I said, when I first grew this channel, I was after having a channel stolen off me, and it hurt me feelings because it took me 4 years to grow, and it got stolen off me because I trusted one of me mods with me channel, and he put a URL on it and blocked everybody. I had everybody saying, Jude, what you blocked me for? I said, I've not blocked you. You fucking have. Screenshot, I sent it to me. I'm like, you foxy four-eyed fuck. You bastard. But in all fairness, Foxy helped me from the start, so I'd like to thank you, because I know you're in here watching me now, you four-eyed cunt. Yeah, and I know you're a dangerous man. I always told you that when I met you. I could see right through you, and I knew you were a problem. You know, I'd say Foxy'd be a problem to fight. But I told him in front of me brother, you're the pusher. Mia, you don't like homosexuals. You told me that. There's nothing wrong with gay people. You're a gayist. You know, I've got 8 minutes and then I'm away. I'm not doing an afternoon live. You'll see me sometime fucking when I get back from fishing. But thanks everyone for coming in. Listen, you four-eyed cunt. I know you come in here. Right. Thank you for helping me. You see, you lit a fire underneath me when you stole this channel. And I said to myself, motherfucker, you won't win. Keep the channel. And I started STRAIGHTOUTTABALLYER. I reached out to all my friends back home. And I said, friends back home, it's Stuart. I have a YouTube channel. And I need your help. So I've about 850 friends on my Facebook. About 500 of them are back home in Ireland. And all of them sub to my channel in a year. Every one of them. All I had to do was put a few videos on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, WhatsApp, YouTube. Yeah, so I said, if I build it, they'll come. So, Jude McDonald is on him doing, right? Couldn't start to. And Cade Mila Falcha as well for coming in. How about this? Bugle, see the fuck she's doing your veil, Cunis, got a Mila Mahagut. Jude McDonald's on him doing. Couldn't start to. No, you fucking can't. Bro, you'll find it on my channel somewhere. It's just like my name backwards, but the way I do things is, right, let's say, I haven't got a clue, Scott, but what I do know is I'm a big believer in team work, and I'm a big fan of community service, and I'm on here to do this community a service. I've managed to save a couple of people's lives already, and I've planted a few seeds in their head, because in Manchester it takes, which one? In Manchester it takes 9 to 18 months to get a psychiatrist appointment. 9 to 18 months. Now, what if you're suicidal and you go there? You have to wait all that time, and according to statistics, 70% of the people that wait aren't here by the time their appointment comes. Do you hear what I'm saying? Because men put their principles and their pride before their fucking happiness. Do you understand? And I'm 51 this year, you know, and I used to have an ego, you know, and it's like any fight that I've ever been in, I've never started it. You know, well, maybe sometimes, but I don't start fights. I don't look for trouble. You know, it just seems to fucking find me. But this morning I had a little incident with someone. Yeah, but I had to think of my son. You know, it's like, I'm like, Jude, you're 51. If you fucking hurt this fella, you're gonna get into trouble for it. Yes, my love. Guys, give me a second. Right, where's Eve's message? Look at my message. I'm fucking trying to find it, Eve. Eve, that's no point. Well, that's the thing. You see, Eve, I have to be very careful, you see, because there's a lot of imposters that come into my life that think that I don't know that there's certain people. I gave one of my mods an opportunity last year. I said to them, if you have a different account and you admit it to me and tell me it's you, I promise you, I will not tell anybody. So I say it again. One day I said on my live, if I've had certain good mods on my channel, if you have a backup channel and you come over to me and admit it to me, not only will I keep your secret, I'll give you a spanner back. And have a guess who come back on the team, was on the team for about 8 months? Stevie Billings. You didn't even know he was here. You probably didn't know he was here, but you wouldn't have known what ID he was on. And I won't tell you what ID he was on. You know, and I did tell him I'd give him a second chance, and I give him a second chance, and I got rid of him and Max on the same day. So here, work it out. I'm not telling you, you'll work it out for yourselves. Who did I get rid of the other day? I got rid of a male and I got rid of a female. You know, and there's no coming back this time. The two of them are gone. You know what I mean? For good. You know, Stevie Billings was one of the best mods I had. I'm not gonna lie, so I'll give him a fucking second chance. I said to all me mods in my channel, listen, if any of you have a backup channel, tell me. Just tell me about it, and I promise you, if I give you my word, I won't fucking tell no one. And I didn't tell anybody. I said to a few people that used to be mods on this channel, I said, this goes out to anybody that used to have a spanner on my channel. If you're in my live on a different ID and you fucking tell me, not only will I keep your secret, I'll give you your spanner back. And have a guess who come and admitted it to me? Stevie Billings. He said, Jude, you know that ID? That's me. I said, you know what? You deserve a second chance, but nobody can know. This has to be our secret. Do you understand? Because look at the carnage you caused on my channel. You know, at the end of the day, you know, like this, I'm like I said, there's a few people on here I've taken spanners off and I fell out with them, but it's YouTube, right? Scott, Stevie was a great mod. Do you understand? But because of Max, now it takes two to tango, right? At the end of the day, but I had to sit and watch Stevie in this live, Max flirting with other people, and like I said, I don't know the full situation, but at the end of the day, that's not nice for a fella to see that. I think Stevie proper loves Max, or he loved her, and that's the truth. And if someone doesn't love you back, it fucking hurts. And I had a big effect on the channel. You didn't even know, but I couldn't be fucking telling people's business. But then Max and Stevie had a big falling out. They were coming in here. He's calling her a fucking whore. She's calling him fucking names. It's like, do you understand? And they put me in the middle, and I'd come on me live and I'd be in a fucking bad mood going into me missus, because these two cunts couldn't fucking, like I said, at the end of the day here, if you have a unit or a team, number one rule, no relationships at all. Me, I'm fucking telling you. Fuck that. At the end of the day, Emma, I had to ring Emma to mommy and tell her that he was dead the other day, basically, right? I'm not too sure, Scott, but all as I know is I noticed things, right? And Max was like, I treated her like a little sister, the same I do with Lena, at the end of the fucking day. And it's like I was speaking to Stevie about it and I was speaking to Max about it, and the two of them really liked each other as far as I know, yeah. And Stevie started having feelings for her, let's say, catching feelings, and I think it was mutual. But then they had a major fucking row. Now, like I said, it takes two to tango. I'm not just gonna blame Stevie. You understand? Because I think the two of them like a beer, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I smoke fucking weed every day. I'm not judging anybody. But what had happened was when Stevie had a bit too much to drink, he can be a bollocks, but when he's sober, Stevie's fucking sound. But what happened was, because they fell out, it happened in my life. And then I'm noticing Rob Lee and Max flirting with each other in the live while Stevie's in the live. So Stevie's watching this, right? And it's breaking his heart, yeah? Do you understand? And he's reaching out to me and he's saying, Jude, it's fucking killing me, I love Max. So what am I meant to do? How are you, Finn? I'm just about to fuck off, but I'm going on the canal to make a bit of content, and when I get back. But you have to understand something, right? So Stevie has been around me over, I think Stevie's been here since I've been on YouTube. Easy, Pablo as well, Chopper. And it's like I've got a duty of care. Well, I don't. You see, I'm what you call a noble man. Okay, others have called me humble. Now, this channel, this has always been about principle. I didn't know anything about YouTube, and someone caught me lacking, slipping. And I trusted them. And it took me 4 long years to get 600 subs, and this fella stole me channel. But I'd like to thank him for doing that, because you lit a fucking fire underneath me, mate. 4 years to get 600 subs. How about 2 years, 3,720 odd? 4,600 videos. There is no one in our circle on YouTube that's made more videos or content than me. Fucking blue bottle. And that's a fact. In our circle on YouTube, in our 33% of the good part of YouTube, not the dark side, the good side. Nobody has made more videos than me. And see the way Finn's channel has grown. Look many subs Finn has. He's not far off 400. And it's the same with his videos. If you're growing a channel, what you need to do is you need to fucking you need to make as many shorts as you can. Do you understand? Even if you have to make 20 videos a day. Really, she's always been in here, but hang on. She's not my enemy, you know. Exactly, Finn. And this is why I said, here, I'll take that. You know, I'll vouch for Finn, because I know Finn will apologise, because I know what he's like. You know, he has that in him. The power of forgiveness if he's wrong, or if he fucking, you know. Finn never comes in here causing trouble, and Finn's a friend of mine. Finn's donated, Finn's bought me coffee, and he sent me, like I said, and I have other people that, like I said, see Max, I've asked her, Max, send me a book. You know, you don't have to, but you're part of this team, and I'll try share your channel as often as I can. If you can, and you have a prop or a postcard or a picture, you know, send it to me. You're part of this team, and you never have to send anything to me again, right? It could be something as simple as a little book from each channel, you know, a little postcard. Max has nothing to offer this team. Now, like I said, I have people that have reached out to me and said, here you are, Jude, there's a prop for you. There's a 4K camera. Never mind your coffee. And shout out to Doc for that. Now, like I said, I don't profit off YouTube. And here I can prove it. I'll show you how much I've made in the last year. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Because it's always been about principle. Now, if you want to buy me a coffee or you want to send me a prop, listen, I've had loads of meal. I'll tell you this, you know, there's a fella called Jimmy the Gent. He's from Liverpool, and he gave me a canvas, right, as a prop, right? Look at this, right? So this is a prop, right? Now, we give me 2 of them, right? Now, Scott, watch this. Hey, mate, what does that say? Hey, canvas. That's doubled over, look. Now, see that? That's what you call memorabilia. Now, on the market, with that and that one, like I said, I ripped it up there purposely so I can't sell it. You know, and that was at my own hand, so I could not sell this. I ripped it. Right? Like I said, it's a prop. It's for the channel. And I'll tell you what else it is. It's fucking rock and roll memorabilia. Australian tour, 1973. Say no more. And there's the Guns N' Roses one right there. Now here, a Scouser sent me them. Do you understand? Jimmy the Gent, you know, and this is why I say to people, listen, if you've got a postcard, a picture, a book, a cap, it could be anything, send it to me. You know, it's like, and I'll help your channel grow. I'm on Instagram. My Instagram is Donald Jude Mac. My second name, my first name, and my middle name. Donald, Donnell, Donald Jude Mac. That's my Instagram. And if you've got a mental health channel and you want to grow it, it's like, let me fucking know. Because like I said, there's loads of people that come in and out of here, okay, that are good fucking people, that have mental health issues, that have fucking drug issues, that have alcohol issues, and they're not afraid to fucking say it either. You know, I'd like to shout out to fucking, what's his name? He got me he got me conference lights, he sent me a prop, and he got me a microphone as well. You know, like I said, all my props, I put them all away. But guys, listen, I'm going to have to go. I won't be on this afternoon because I'm going fishing with the chick. I'm going to bring some bread today. Somebody told me to bring some bread. Yesterday, guys, here, I found a new spot, a new location. And today, I'm going to name a fish called Jerry. And then I'm going to name a fish after Pablo. And then I'm going to name a fish after Chopper. And then I'm going to name a fish after Wanda. Now, we haven't any Wandas in the channel at the minute, but anyway. And then Lena. And then I'm gonna get a fish called Finn. I'm going to get a fish called Straight Jacket, all the way from fucking Australia. And everyone that has a spanner in my channel, I'm going to catch a fish and name it in your honour. And make a video too. How about that? You see, because I've done my research and there's no channel on YouTube in our circle that has made 4,600 videos. And here, that's a fact. My channel, according to algorithms and analytics, there's nobody in our circle that has made more videos than I have. You know, I'm dedicated, you know. Like I've saved a couple of people's lives. I've learned a few things off doctors and I've passed them on to me friends. Well, I'm just going to make this and then I'm going to fuck off. But like I said, at the end of the day, not because Finn is sent. Okay, well, I want you to do me a favour, Lisa. I need to know what his name is. Right, guys. Okay, long story short. I have a pal called Dylan, who's Lily's father, who loves computers. Now, Dylan is Lily's dad. Okay, Finn, you bleeding timed him out by accident. He called me a ginger ninja. Now, it wasn't your fault. But I think Finn blocked him, but I don't know how to unblock him. But guys, like I said, listen to me, yeah? He's Lily's dad. You know, that's his name. Looks. Finn, if you can do it for me, I'd really appreciate it. You know, he's, I just don't know. I've nobody on my list, on my block list. Oh, nice one. Good lad. Nah, listen, Finn, everybody's welcome at the end of the day, you know. I get on with everybody. And I get on with Lily's dad, you know. And Finn, you know, the computer that was there, that wasn't mine. That's Lily's dad. Do you understand? Bro, when it comes to computers, you know that computer, his brother built it. By hand, from scratch. His brother built it. You know, he knows, see, when it comes to computers, he's a fucking wizard. Thanks for coming in, Eve. But like I said, guys, I have a friend called Dylan, and his name is Lux, L-U-X, capital L-U-X, yeah. And he's a friend of he's a friend of ours. He's a friend of this channel. I said, at the end of the day, right, it's like I work hard on this channel. It's like I've done my research. There is 52 channels in there, 33% of YouTube. I've been around YouTube 7 years now. There is people. Yeah, bro, he's not a kid. He's Lisa's baby's dad. You know what I mean? Lily's dad. So he's welcome in here. You know, Lisa, I don't think he knew. But he know now and anyway. It's like, nah, guys, listen to me, right? A lot of people that have mental health issues come in and out of here. And there's some good people, you know. And it's like, over time, you end up becoming friends with these people. Like, you know, I've listened to people like Lena, Raymond, Finn talk about mental health, addiction, alcoholism. And it's like they have a fucking story, and it's like, I believe right now, as I said, most men seem to think that they have to be a tough guy all the time. Okay, Mr. Tough Guy, why can't you talk about your mental health or your feelings? Yeah, you know, like I said, there's a couple of people on YouTube don't like me, but yeah, I'm not on here to be liked, you know. The people that I get along with know what I'm like, you know. I'm a lover, not a fighter. And on this channel, you don't need no inviter. You know, all my pals will tell you years ago here, I could fight. Do you think here? Come here, listen. You know the way you ride a bike, yeah? You don't forget, yeah? Precision, power, timing, speed, precision, accuracy is all there. You know, I'm a fucking old man, do you understand? 51. Thank you, Finn. Listen, there is what it is. Like I said, he made me aware last week. Well, guys, I'd like you to do me a favour. I'm going to end this live now in a minute. And if you're not, or you've not gone over to Finn's channel, guys, go over. Because Finn's one of us, do you understand? And he's got a lot to offer this channel, yeah? Like his time and his experiences and his long suffering. It's like, you know, Finn's a good man. And even though I know Max longer than I knew Finn, it's like, you see, what you don't understand is Max told me she wasn't coming in again. If Finn come in, well then see you later, mate. Finn's my mate. You know, Finn's donated to my channel. And it's whether he ever donated or bought me a coffee in his life, he's donated his time and his story. And he shows his face, do you understand? He's not afraid to show his face. Therefore, I see strength in Finn. Finn's going to add to this community. He's already doing a StreamYard ages. I don't need to fucking help Finn's channel. Finn fucking... Me, let me tell you this. Every sub that Finn's got them. I've just asked a few people to go over and look, and because I already see it. I see this in Finn. You know, like, I see something and I say it, and I was like, you know what? Finn, when I first started talking to Finn, he told me a few things, and I couldn't believe how brutally honest he was. And at the time, I thought Finn and Tank were the same person. You know, but when you come on here and show your face now, even though I've seen Tank's face before, it's like, Tank won't come on here. Like, there's a few people that won't come on, you know what I mean? Fucking, and I don't blame them, you know. But I've spoke to a few guys that's in and out of my channel on Instagram, face to face, you know, and I'd never show anybody's face, you know, because it's like, some people aren't comfortable on camera, you know. But you can tell somebody, listen, like I said, I'm not a tough man, a hard man, or a fighting man. Now, me missus and me brothers and every gypsy and Bezek will say different, right? Because they've seen me fighting. But I'm not a tough man. But you don't need to be. When you're certified psychotic, it's just there, you know. My father taught me many things, but you know, one of the main things he taught me, don't let him off that ground. He will hurt you. He will hurt your family, Jude. What are you going to tell your kids when you've marks all over your face? Don't let him up, or he's going to mark your face, and then your kids are going to know you're bowsy. You know, like, the difference between me and a lot of people on YouTube is there's a lot of people on YouTube that think they're really tough guys, you know, but they're really tough. They can't show their face now. If you were as tough as you think you are, you'd show your face and you wouldn't give a bollocks. You know, some people on here deliberately don't show their face and insult people and fucking, you know, and act like they're a tough guy and shit. Listen to me, yeah. Define a tough guy to me. Why are you tough? What have you done? Who knows you? Can any of your mates speak for you? Hey, can you back up everything you say? Can you prove that you palled around with A, B, C, and D? By all the photographs you post, by what you have. Now, this channel, like I said, I've done my homework and I researched 51 channels and mine being 52 channels. In the 52 channels that are monetized, 51 of them charge money. And there's only one channel in our circle on YouTube that doesn't charge people money, and it's me. And every one of them 51 channels, none of them has made anywhere near the videos that I've made. And that is a fact as well. And I'll post it, I'll show you how I know. Do you understand? But I'm delighted because, like I said, I've connected with the mental health community, not just in Ireland, but all around the fucking world, you know. We have genuine fucking men like Scott, who's from fucking Sydney, Australia, who comes in here all the fucking time, who's a friend of this channel and is a friend of mine. And he said something a couple of weeks ago and I fucking did not like it, but when I thought about it, I knew, you know, that's what friends do. You know, Scott said to me last week, Lisa, or the week before, he said, what you fucking doing on YouTube, bro? Fuck's sake, man, go sort your shit out. Now, I didn't like it, you know, but he was just being a friend, you know. That's what mates do, you know. And like I said, see, fucking, I fucked up going to Australia because of me past, you know. When I was younger, I always wanted to be like me mates, you know. I wanted to be the guy, you know. I wanted to be the man, you know. And there's things you have to do in order to become the man, like you have to shoot, pill every now and then. But like I said, it was when I left Ballyferma and I moved, when I was in cabinet and all, that's when I started getting involved with serious, heavy people, you know. And because I wanted to be like them, I was willing to do whatever it took, but I witnessed something. And I prayed to God this particular day just to get me out of this house because I was at that witnessing something and I was about to work for this guy, okay? I'll tell you the truth, right? He's dead. Right, Marno Highland, right? I was working for him, allegedly. Allegedly. And I went to the house one day, and whilst I was in there, I seen something that I shouldn't have seen, that I couldn't unsee. And he knew I seen that. He wanted me to see that. You know, I witnessed him hold an iron to a man's fucking head. And this guy was screaming and he was mimicking the screams. This guy was like, ah, and he's like that, like, ah, you understand? And I'm not joking you, it put the fear of God into me. I felt I was a child, you know, and I was fucking in the corner for not being naughty. But I'll tell you one thing, I'm not joking you. On all my children's lives, I didn't think I was going to leave that house that morning. You see, because I didn't know whether they were going to fucking kill this fella. But anyway, listen, I'm going to fuck off, smoke this, and then me and me missus, we're going down the canal on a mission. And today is Operation Jerry. I have to catch another fish and call it Jerry and let it go. And then I'm going to catch a fish called Pablo in Pablo's honour. All the people that have donated, whether it be their time, props, buy me a coffee, fucking whatever way you fucking invested in my channel. And you don't need to buy me coffee or send me props to invest in my channel. We communicate, you know, and it's fucking like there's a lot of people that are on YouTube that know me years, and I've always been me fucking self. You know, I'm too fucking honest. That's what my problem is, you know. But shout out to the big man Scott all the way in Australia, man, for being a mate a few weeks ago. You know, I appreciate it. I was well pissed off at you, you know, but you were so right. I just didn't want to fucking, you know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying about men. When maybe it's because call me a sentimental old fool, you know, but it's like sometimes in life men won't admit when we're wrong, and we put our pride in our principles before our happiness, and then we end up lonely bastards, you know what I mean? And I don't want to go out that way, you know. I want to be, do you understand? I'm a lover, not a fighter, you know. And sometimes, you know, a few words, like sometimes you don't like hearing certain things, you know. Lee Marvin Hitchman, I know you're going to kill me, but if you're watching this live, listen to me, bro. I'm having a family day out today, and the midget gets picked up at 3. So I'll ring them. I have a couple of phone calls I need to make today. But Lee has a dentist, right? Well, she's an expert in degenerative gums, you know, and you lose. No, Lisa, I seen this guy iron somebody out, literally, you know, and the smell of him, man, it's like, I'm not joking you. I swear to God, mate, I was fucking terrified. Because he said to me, you know, if you ever do that, if you ever fuck me over, dude, listen, know this, you're not in Ballier anymore. This is Cabaret. You fuck me over. You see what you've just seen there? That's nothing. I'll stick 2 of your ears to your head. Do you understand? I'll melt them off and I'll put them on your fucking forehead. And I tell you what, that day I got out because I prayed to God. You know, now he's dead now. Everybody knows this geezer, right? Well, knew him. You know, and I just wanted to be like them. You know, like I wanted to be around Dottie because of who he was and what he was part of, allegedly. I wanted to be like that, you know, and there was only one way. Right, guys, I'm going to fuck off. I've done 2 hours. I won't be doing an afternoon. I won't be doing, obviously, me 2 o'clock live. But when I get back from fishing, hey, me missus today is going to be my video guide. Yeah. So I'm going to catch a fish called Jerry. Then I'm going to catch a fish and I'm going to call it Pablo. Then I'm going to catch a fish and I'm going to call it Chopper. Then I'm going to catch a fish and I'm going to call it Finn, Lena, Scott. You know, it's like, there's a few people, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's like, the more men and women talk about their mental health, it's like it's gonna save people, because in life, men, we try to be all tough and shit. Do you understand? And it's like, and we put our pride and our principles before our happiness or what's right and wrong. You know, and I've done that most of my life. You know, I used to worry about what I didn't have. You know, because as a greedy bastard when I was a youngster, I wanted to get to the top of that tree, no matter how I got there. If I had to use a ladder to get up, so be it. I'm getting on that tree and I'll keep climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing. It's like I was the first one out of all my mates to get tortured in Cherry Orchard, and I was the first one to lose his eyebrows. You understand? I grew up on a street corner, and I'll tell you one thing, the way things were going, if I had been still on that street corner, I would have been part of that tree right now. Because All the lads that I pal around with, the media called the family. But like I said, guys, I've been around a lot of real tough guys, real nasty bastards, you know, real problems, who put the fear of God into me. And it's like, it's a crying shame, because I have a lot of mates at home that wasted 10, 15, 20 years in jail and have loads of regrets. And it's like a lot of the lads that I grew up with are real tough guys that don't talk about their feelings. Do you understand? Yeah, because the tough guys, right? You have to maintain that persona, that ego, that character, you know. And I believe you can change if you really want to. Uh, you know, and me and my chick has helped me change, you know. Like, when you're certified psychotic, when you've got complex PTSD and survivor's guilt, that's three labels right there, you know. But there's no point in sitting in self-wallowing pity, you know. Like, when my channel was stolen off me very first YouTube channel, Fighting Back United, uh, it really hurt me, because I trusted Foxy and he betrayed me and stole my channel. So I said, you know what, you four eyes, I know you're a serial killer. You're a serial walking moor fucking. Do you know what's weird? What I always found weird? Every night he goes with George, being his Rottweiler, on the moors with a head cam on his on his head, you know, and in his car he's got a pickaxe handle, duct tape, cable ties, and a few other things. And I said to him, "You're the pusher, you. You fucking what? You fucking heard what I said." And see, Foxy, I'd say Foxy can have a go. The same way Jimmy the Gent, who give me them canvases. Congratulations, Jimmy, on winning the Premier League Justice for the 97. Right, guys, thanks all for coming in. I'm going to end me live. Finn will probably be live, guys, so go over to his channel. Like I said, Finn represents the mental health channel, or the mental health community, and he represents the Irish community on here, you know. And like I said, Finn is going to bring people together. Do you understand? And the more channels, like I said, all I've asked is for people to go over to Finn's channel, give him a fucking sub, because I believe in him. And the other day I said, listen, I'm backing Finn at the end of the day. You know, if Finn didn't say to me here, if Max is still in here, I'm not coming in here, because that's putting me in a situation. Now, Finn apologised tenfold. Lena sent me all the screenshots. This was coming. And I already had to get rid of 2 mods because of Max. And the other day I had to get rid of another one, being Stevie, which just didn't know he was in the channel. But you have to understand something. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Have you ever read The Art of War? It's a book about strategy. You see, I learned something off me uncles, off me friends, off some of Dublin's most notorious killers with nicknames. They all learned me. You see, it's in me. It's there. It's just like, and if I need to use it, so be it. But I'm not a tough guy, a hard man, not a fighting man. And my fight is to stay alive. You know, like a soldier's main priority is to, like, self-preservation. You know, self-preservation, a lot of dedication at this destination. Yeah, every fucking day, you know. And shout out to Finn and Lena, bought me a few copies last week. You know, there's loads of good people on here, and like I said, I fucking do this for principle. And some people see that. Some people see here, this guy could be making fucking money on YouTube. He could be charging me £2 membership every month. Some people charge £35 a month. No names or no nonsense. Really? £35 a month, lad? What's that about? Yeah, justice for the 97. Congratulations on winning the Premier League, but that's a liberty that, you know. I understand that my channel's not like any of these. My channel's a mental health channel, you know, and it's like there's no mental health channel in our circle on YouTube that's made 4,600 videos. Nobody. And I've looked and researched it. In our circle on YouTube, no channel has made more videos than I have. And see Finn's channel. Go over now, guys, because he's going live. I'm going to end this and I'm going to send me Rod up. Shout out to all you, man, for coming in. Anyway, well, here. Yeah. M110161. Done now, as Bugsy would say. And I'm looking forward to going down the canal with me missus, you know, holding hands and, you know, we've not held hands for ages, but we will today going down the canal, you know. Like I said, sometimes men, we do not like admitting when we're wrong, and sometimes in life we are wrong. And if you are one of these individuals, when you're wrong, you won't admit it, well then that's going to compromise your fucking happiness. Because you're too proud and your principles are going to outweigh your happiness. And men, we always put our principles and our pride before our fucking happiness. You know, you learn it one day. You know, if you're not humble or noble by the time you're 50, it ain't happening. I think you have to go through a shitload of trauma to come out the other side. You know, it's collateral damage, you know. And sometimes you have to take affirmative action because it's like it is what it is. It's fucking in you. You know, like, there's a lot of good people on this community. And like I said, I'm going to bring a lot more people together. Finn is going to bring people together. Lena is going to bring people together. Raymond will bring people together. You know, Raymond told me one day he was going to fucking kill himself, right? I didn't even know the guy. I said, bro, give me a week. He said, there's no point. Nobody would give a fuck. No one cares about me. No one loves me. I said, here, I care. Do you understand? He said, yeah, but bro, I've no friends. I sit in all the time. I don't go out. You know, I'm super depressed. So I put him in a few groups. I give him a bit of advice and I prayed for him. And I got a few other people to pray for him. And Raymond come into it. I had a group with about 80 people in it off the cesspit. And I introduced him to a few people. And thank God he's still here today. Lena frightened me one day. She told me something and I had to plant a seed in her head as well. Because I cared about her, you know, and fuck money. I'm not on here for the money. If you want to buy me a copy or send me a prop, knock yourself out. But I've helped save a few people's life, and as far as I'm concerned, there. Right, I'm away. I'll talk to you later.